Do I sound all right?
Yeah, I think you sound okay.
Okay, thank you.
We're live on YouTube.
Now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, YouTube? Thanks for the cue.
I do what I can.
How long were we live?
Probably while you were yelling testing. Probably.
Hell of a way to bring it in.
Yeah, you know.
At least hang on.
We're doing a hacky Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So what's up? Do you want to save the small talk bullshit for YouTube or for air?
Probably for air.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, this is just a beginning.
Mm-hmm.
We're still running commercials, so we're not live yet. And, yeah, no, Tanya's not here. She said her kid is messed up or something again.
Again?
Her kids have the, like, her whole her and her kids have the most health problems of any people I've ever, like, I can see why she's an atheist. Because God definitely don't like them.
No, not at all. So.
Yeah, but we can't afford to miss more time anymore.
Oh my God, I know.
Fucking January was the worst month for us.
It was, really.
I mean, well, and even dating back into like early December.
Yeah.
Because that's when you started missing a bunch of days. I almost never missed days, and I missed most of last week.
Yeah.
Tanya missed days because she was sick at some point, and
it's been rough.
Then it got too icy.
And you finally got sick.
Yeah. Which I don't, 2 years in a row, no flu shot, got the flu.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I should have gotten the flu shot.
Was it the flu?
I'm sure it was, or something like that. Like, my head hurt. Like, I would get these, like, really awful headaches, and they were so intense, I just felt really dizzy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, I couldn't stay. That's like Friday when I finally told you guys, like, yeah, I really don't think I could do it anyway. When I was working, I was, standing back by my inventory and doing all that stuff I do. And literally just, like, having to grab onto a table every now and then because I'm like, whoa.
Damn. You were fucked up.
Yeah, well, I think Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, it was hard to walk around my house. Like,
wow.
Friday, I was okay.
Yeah.
But if I would stand and look too long, then I'd be like, whoa. I'd get, like, a bit of...
yeah, I'm glad we didn't do the show. Like, what, for dizziness?
Yeah, like, when you have, like, the...
Vertigo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of vertigo. Whoa.
Yeah.
Which it tends to happen when I get bad headaches anyway.
Yeah.
Which is a real kick in the balls.
It
just started recently, like, within the last year or two. It really sucks. I think it's all pressure.
I'm glad we didn't do a show then, because I don't want that shit.
Yeah, well, no one else I knew got the vertigo thing, but I think I only get it because it kicks in when I get the headaches.
Yeah.
And when you have the flu thing, like that, your head is just pounding. I mean, not to mention that, like, feeling like you've been in a car accident because you've been, like, coughing and sneezing. And my sneezes are the worst sneezes in the planet Earth.
They're bad.
Like, just like my body's just hurting. And I'm dizzy, and I'm like, oh, Jesus.
They're very violent.
Yeah. So, yeah, there was no way I was going to make that.
So, even though we're accustomed to Will leaving trash around here, I actually want to read this to you. Did you read this yet?
No.
It was stuck in my microphone, which was a great place for it.
I think it was just giving you a message.
Yeah, maybe. And it's off this calendar thing, 365 facts that will scare the shit out of you. It's not scary, but it's kind of interesting. So it says, the boatman, an aquatic insect roughly the size of a grain of rice, can produce a 105 decibel chirp by rubbing its penis against its underbelly. To put that into perspective, a jackhammer produces approximately 100 decibels. And then the human penis tops out at 20 decibels, roughly equivalent to rustling leaves.
Really depends on if Will's attacking you or
Yeah.
not.
But 105 decibels. So basically a jackhammer. How badass is that?
How do you think he discovered that?
I don't know.
Like the insect himself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not Will, our station manager, finding that. But,
No.
I mean, the insect itself, being like, you know what? I should rub this against this.
Yeah. I don't know.
It must be awful for, like, 13-year-old insects that do that.
God.
They're in their bedroom trying to, like, get some alone time. The whole house is shaking. The dad just looks at the mom. Are we gonna have this conversation? I'm really trying to watch the news.
CNN, Chaos News Network.
Fake news.
No, so how long do we have on YouTube?
We go live in like 20 seconds.
Okay,
You excited to go live?
as always. I'm excited to be in my bed.
I'm excited to do it. I'm ready to be back.
Yeah.
Like I had fucking, I don't know, opinionation or diarrhea going
Yeah,
on
for
the
real.
last, like, it kills me when we're not on. Anyway, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2 seconds, and 1. And
Welcome to Revolution Radio, you beautiful sons of bitches. Here we are, back again after a long hiatus, it felt like.
we've just might as well have taken off all of
Yeah, I
2019.
know, for real.
We
We'll
really
be
did.
back next year.
Yeah.
It's our New Year's resolution to do the show.
Well, there's a lot of shows, and way above our caliber. But you know, like Last Week Tonight and Bill Maher,
Yeah.
and a lot of them take months off.
Yeah.
I mean, we should. Yeah, you know what? You guys are lucky because we're doing a little bit.
Yeah, we're successful enough.
We'll do once a week. Don't worry, we won't lose our clout.
Our clout.
People are still paying attention to us, even though we're not here.
Who are we? Sometimes I forget our name.
This is radio's in it. I know
Somewhere.
that.
We ripped off someone's song.
So before we get into it, man, I want to go over my last week.
Yeah.
YouTube already heard, so I'm going to spare some details to help them. But
Which means you should be listening on YouTube, but
yeah, that's true. Tune in, Revolution Radio on YouTube. Subscribe, like, love us. But yeah, so I was sick. Really, you know, that was why we missed last week.
Sure.
This show cannot exist without me. They need me. I really am, and I don't like being the linchpin, but I really am because no one else knows how to do this
Yeah.
behind. Which I try to get you guys. Like, if you would show up early, then I would show you how to set it up. And
one of these days I'll manage to.
if Tanya's kids either die or get better, then I can show her. No, and she's one that's always complaining about it. But anyway, I want to show more people how to do this because, look, 90%. Well, I guess at this point, 100% of the time I'm wrong that I'm having a heart attack.
Yeah.
But you keep saying something.
Yeah.
At some point, it's going to be true. I pray to God by that point I'm not still in, this studio.
Yeah. Right.
It'd be really sad. In like 30 years, I'm still doing radio
Yeah.
here.
Unless it's a week from now.
Well, and could be.
Yeah.
I, of course, I hope I'm not doing radio here by then. But anyway, so sick all week. We missed the time. Tuesday was the day that it started coming on. And I think I even posted on Facebook, by the way, Jay Dillon, JAYDYLAN. I like to keep people abreast of what's going on
Yeah.
with me. And I think it was Tuesday I posted a picture of my thermometer. It was
Yeah.
like 101.5 or something like that. I'm like, fuck. Like, this ain't happening. Because I kept battling it.
Yeah.
Monday, I came in here and I think I mentioned it to you guys just briefly. Like, man, I feel like I might be catching something.
Yeah,
Like, I don't know.
yeah.
I'm fighting it. But then in Tuesday, by the time I got home, I was like just shivering, like really cold. And I'm like, fuck. And yeah, so that happened. Then, interesting thing happened Tuesday night. We got a really bad storm movement
Yeah.
late that night / early morning. So, as I'm in the heart of being sick, and you need your sleep and you need your rest to feel better.
Yeah.
6 a.m., my phone's going off. School canceled. Okay, all right, that's cool. At least my kid will be happy. But I'm kind of up and around, and I told my wife, I'm like, hey, school's canceled, and she had already known it. And a lot of other schools were canceled from here to 30 miles out. In fact, I even texted you because I was like, you all right? You making it?
Yeah. And I was surprised you were up at that hour. I was like, holy shit.
The fucking school.
Well, I was like, who's texting me this early? And then of all people.
Also in some weird kind of fevered days, by the way. Because
Yeah.
I was halfway, like, have you ever been fever drunk?
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
fever drunk most of last week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know you should really take stuff, but like I was
Yeah.
kind of trying to let my body, like I want to give my immune system a good workout.
Yeah.
You know, I want to make sure it's still there. So, I told my wife, I said, well, Cody says it's pretty bad out there and whatever. You know, maybe you should just stay at home.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, well, I'll try. And I was like, I mean, are you going to try or are you going to try like for me, if it was in my position, me trying would be like I walk out to the porch and it's like it's slippery.
Right.
Like, nope.
Right.
Going back in. We tried. I mean, because honestly, when you try, who knows how much you're actually, what effort do they know you're giving?
Yeah. By the way, that next day, because if you remember, we got, like, that morning when you texted me, it wasn't bad, but that next morning, that night, we got more.
Oh, we'll get into that.
So I'm just saying, that's actually what I did that Wednesday morning. I walked out and I was like, it's kind of slippery. So I text my boss. I was like, hey, man, I tried. I'm just drifting everywhere. Like,
That's me. Like, that's totally me. No, she went ahead and tried. She made it to Hutch where she works. I'll give you the address later for anyone interested. But that's about a 45-minute drive. That's why it's kind of important. And as she was almost at work, she slid and essentially totaled our car because she got hit by somebody as she slid into oncoming traffic.
out of curiosity, was it by the airport? Like right on that curve road?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. When you sent me the picture, I was like, man, that looks like the airport.
You're really good
Thanks.
spotting stuff. And so I woke up. So, you know, and I'd fallen asleep. I just assumed she'd crawl back in bed in an hour or so or less than that and be like, yeah, I tried, it's too icy, you know. And nope, I got a phone call at like 8 o'clock. I totaled the car. And I'm like, what did I tell you? I said don't go, and look what you did. No, I mean, to be fair, are you okay? Everything all right? Yeah. Fuck! You're just trying to ruin my life? And I mean, and I think most loving husbands and boyfriends and whatever be like, all right, I'll get there as soon as I can. I was like, well, somehow make it to work because I'm not getting out for a while. And I did have reason.
Yeah.
I had my kid.
Yeah.
School was canceled. So,
And you're sick.
and I was incredibly sick and only had at that point probably 4 hours of sleep. So fever drunk and delirious, driving on ice, not a good combination,
No.
especially with a 6-year-old. So I had to wait to get somebody, went to go pick her up, blah, blah, blah. Car's jacked up. Not happy because I loved that car.
Yeah, I did
that was
too.
like my car.
Yeah. Rest in
and-
peace.
Yeah, I know, it sucks. So, as you were talking about, the next day we just got like a smattering of ice. Like,
Yeah.
it was incredibly bad around here, which I think it would lead to maybe we wouldn't have done radio on Wednesday anyway.
No, probably not.
Because Wednesday night, as we would have been live, it was icing
Yeah.
really bad.
It's sleeting.
Yeah, which is
I don't know
like,
if it was sleeting or if it was raining, but either way, as soon as it hit the ground, it was freezing.
well, and it started to get really loud too. So it was,
Yeah.
I think, sleeting / icing or whatever they
Hutch
call it.
actually got a decent amount of hail, or Sterling did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is shit, especially
Yeah.
when you're a homeowner or a car owner. But so then like I said, Friday didn't feel good, and then Saturday I had to go buy a new car.
Oh, you did end up getting one.
I hate buying cars, and I wanted a nice like shitty early 2000s car that I could just pay off right there and be done.
Yeah.
But no, I had to get a 5-year debt.
What'd you end up getting?
I'm not going to give you the exact. I mean, I'll tell you off air, but I mean, just because we've now told about the general location where my wife works, everyone who knows, if they know really well, knows she's a scientist. There's
now they
not
do.
a lot of, So the last thing I really want to do is.
License plate number.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just say that it's a 2016. I'll tell you more.
Oh, wow, look at you.
YouTube will find out what it is since we don't take break here.
Right.
But yeah, so that was my week, and it really sucked.
Yeah.
I didn't really, but I did discover something, and as I was sick most of that time, and I don't know about you, but when I get like a really bad migraine, I can't watch TV.
No.
Like it's really rough.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't listen to loud music, but I can listen to like kind of a soft music, and I go back and forth with Will on something that I think I would never want to do his style of show.
Mm-mm.
And thankfully, Will doesn't care what we do. I mean, we literally we give him shit all the time on this show, but it's just kind of like brotherly love. It's
Yeah.
kind of, you know.
It helps when he doesn't listen.
Yeah. And he's one of his shows, one of the other shows that we can just shit talk, because I mean they'll do the same thing, you know. I mean, I think they were talking about some old rocker that no one's known for the last 30 years who passed away, and Will
Old
was
Dumpton?
like, Will was like, well, it's better than doing radio in a station that a bunch of snowflakes work at, you know. I mean, so we give each other shit, but I don't listen to rock radio at all.
No.
I used to. You know, I used to like to listen to like T95 or junk like that. I don't listen to it at all. And what happened to urban or hip hop stations? When did they get like so good? I started listening to Hot 97.
Hot 97.
Yeah.
What's that?
It's a hip hop station.
What station is it?
It's internet. It's from XM.
Oh.
I started listening to that though, and like the first, I don't even know why. Oh, because it had Run the Jewels on, and so I was just like, oh, okay, I'll listen to Run the Jewels a little bit. And right after that, they had a phone interview with Ocasio-Cortez.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Then they were talking to 21 Savage's lawyer.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm like actively listening to this. I give a shit what's going on. The next day they had Killer Mike on. I mean, and deep conversations about stuff. And I'm like, this is why I don't listen to rock radio. They don't have any of this. Like, there is not a rock
They just
station.
have Dee Snyder.
Yeah, exactly. And Todd and Tyler, who
Yeah.
they're the closest, but they're so pigeonholed into what they have to do that they don't ever break out of, we're going to tell some kind of immature jokes, and we'll kind of talk about we don't like Trump, but we're not going to get into it because we don't want to get in trouble. You know, it's really watered down, and like hip hop radio is where it's at, I guess. Like I like a general style of music, but still, I was like, wow.
So, what do you think about this whole 21 Savage thing? I'm curious your take on it.
Do you care to
Yeah,
open
so
the story?
For those of you who don't know, somehow, 21 Savage is one of these new wave mumble rappers. He's not awful. I mean, I don't totally hate him like I do some.
I'm in a place where I'm trying to actually like hate him more because I'm like, do I only like him because of what's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, he's a hit or miss with me, honestly. But last week he got arrested by ICE because they did some research on him, and apparently he's British. And I have gone back and forth with a couple people on this.
Did you notice that in 2015 he was arrested on major drug possession?
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't they have got him then?
If they thought to look at it.
I mean, they should have known. Like,
yeah, but like
when you're processed, they take your social security number or your driver's. It would have been all right there.
I don't know, because I've heard that his yearly visa expired in like 2007.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Like a decade ago. It expired.
Yeah.
And he just never got it renewed, and so he's from Britain. Here's my thing with it is, so whether he's here illegally or not, which if the visa thing is true, then he is, but you bring up a good point with the arrest. Why didn't he get sent back or anything? Here's my thing. The people who are sitting here saying like, oh, it's just so sad. He's going to get separated from his kids and everything. No, he's not. He's got money. You think as soon as he lands in Britain, he's not going to buy himself a house, buy himself a car, or have his car shipped over. He's going to have his kids sent over
Yeah, if they're not already. I mean,
come on. This is
I
not
d-
a sad story.
I wouldn't say sad. I definitely wouldn't say sad. I think it comes from a negative place, though.
Oh?
Yeah, because the reason I brought up the arrest charge in 2015 is because I feel. You know what a monkey head is, like, in reference?
Mm-mm.
If I'm trying to think of something. Okay, so in Africa, monkeys are always fucking with farms.
Yeah.
So a farmer will kill a monkey, chop off his head, put it on a stake,
Yeah.
put it out there. Other monkeys are like, holy shit, dead monkeys over here. Let's go the other way.
Yeah.
I feel like 21 Savage was used as that. And
How?
because it happened right before the State of the Union address.
Oh. Like a
The timing-
distraction?
The time, not a distraction. We're going after everybody. Doesn't matter where they're from, where they're at.
Oh.
But we're going after them mercilessly. And I think in so many ways, I think that's what it was. Only reason why is because, like I said, bring up the past arrest record. That should have, well, they would have known then. And you said, yeah, it was like 2007, 2008. I don't know exactly. I know it was over a
2007.
decade.
Yeah.
For sure. And he's signed labels. He's, you know, it would have came up.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like Juan picking fruit.
Right.
You know, staying, you know, on the dark web, so to
Yeah.
speak. No, he's right out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was just a statement. And I don't think, I don't know why. I feel like with Donald Trump's team, I often never agree with what Trump does, but I understand why he does it.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I feel like he does things for like good press. And lately he's been doing things the negative way. And I don't know why. Somebody on his team has switched. And who knows? It's like a revolving door, his administration is. So who knows who the new one is, who's giving him this bad advice.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could be fucking Hillary. Hillary Clinton might be on his cabinet at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many people going back and forth. But if he was trying to secure some kind of support or vote, he's not doing it the right way. I mean, I think he's like just trying to build up his base, but his base is built up. In fact, one of the things when we were off, did you hear the whole thing with Ann Coulter?
Maybe.
Ann Coulter,
I remember reading something about Ann Coulter, but I can't remember what.
and it's been a while. We just never really talked about it. It's not even that. Anyway. Ann Coulter has said that Trump doesn't build that wall, then fuck him, essentially.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And she's denounced him.
Yeah.
He's garbage. And same with like Hannity and some
Yeah.
of these people. Trump not Hannity because he's an ass kisser.
No.
I mean, but so many of Limbaugh, you know, that like fringe right that a lot of people really like to listen to. They've all denounced him because this dumb wall.
Yep.
And now he's with Friday. The government's supposed to either decide are we shutting down or what are we doing? There's already talk about how that bill to permanently open the government should have been passed today. In fact, on Meet the Press, Nick Mulvaney said it should have been passed yesterday. There's not going to be enough time to get signatures. So, regardless of if it happens, it doesn't look like it's going to happen, honestly. Because, like I said, I was watching Meet the Press yesterday, and Mulvaney sounded incredibly disheartened by the whole thing. Like, well, if it happens, you know, like he was very sharp on the fact that he doesn't think that we're going to get anything passed. But they keep talking about two things, you know, about government shutdown. And one is Trump's going to find the money one way or other to build the wall, which could be a big mistake depending on how it's done. If he does the state of emergency, he's going to fight the courts. He's going to be in a major battle. It's going to take forever. And in that time, he's going to keep losing support from his base.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think, and Ann Coulter is one of his biggest enemies in that. And I couldn't believe how much I agreed with Ann Coulter when I heard her talking about this, to be
Yeah.
honest. But she brought out the point that we've been talking about since the whole wall talk started, which was you had 2 years.
Oh yeah.
You had the House, you had the Senate, you had, obviously presidential. You have every power to get it passed. Why didn't you pass it? And that's what Ann Coulter's bring up. Why did you wait till the first month that the Democrats are in the House that you try to pass it?
Yeah.
What were you thinking? You worried more about getting the tax cuts to the rich than you were for this wall. And look what happened.
Mhm.
And so the other aspect is they're talking about if they make a deal that Trump will get like $2 billion. That's what some Democrats are saying they're willing to give. There's other ones who are saying he's not getting $1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and however that works, we could be looking at another shutdown.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. Like, let me ask you, if you were working for the government the beginning of this year, and this past month, would you have been looking for another job all this time?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, right.
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess
He's
could see.
unstable. Of course he'll do it again.
I could see where you'd be like, look, I only got 1 more year to ride this shit out.
Mhm.
I've done it. I've got 15 years in. Like, I'm not just
Yeah,
going to
but
give up on that.
A lot can happen in 3 years. Do you remember exactly how many days this last one was?
I don't know. We broke all sorts of amazing records.
Oh yeah, we did.
It
And
was
that's
like
not
37 days? I don't know.
Oh, see, I thought it was like 32 or 33, but
You
either
might
way,
be right,
it is
yeah.
in the 30s.
We're shooting
That's
for
a-
the stars on that one.
Yeah, that's a whole month. Like, it doesn't seem like that long in retrospect, but when you think about it, take your current, income and then just cut a month out. Get by a month
Oh,
with
yeah.
no money. You can't.
You can't, no.
No one can,
Well, Trump's friends can.
but they're getting paid.
The rich can.
They're getting paid.
Well, not even the ones that don't. I mean,
Well, yeah.
our financial chief of finance, Wilbur Ross, was like, well, who doesn't have at least 100,000 in savings?
Yeah.
Most people,
Like, everybody.
like this is where someone like AOC and Bernie Sanders just beats the hell out of them because they're so far removed from the reality is most people get just berated because they don't have any savings. And they're trying to explain, look, I've got my car payment, I've got this, I got that, I got insurance, I got rent, I got blah 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 blah. I don't have any money for savings. Well, you're not preparing for your future. You're so immature. You're so irresponsible. Yeah, it's really easy when you're Wilbur Ross or Donald Trump or any of these people who get paid so much money. I mean, there was in Norway, they try to get it to where everyone makes about $100,000 a year, right? And the reason for this is you need $77,000 as a family to live comfortably. And that's just have food, your necessities, to have a decent house, and to afford an emergency. For us, that's a lot of money. The economy in Norway is also high. It's the standard of living over there is higher. It's it's a little bit better. And for America, it's so huge that it's hard to say. Like in New York, 77,000 would probably be pretty good. Like that's probably where you need to be. In Kansas, holy shit, you're fucking rich. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
But back to Norway. So the 100,000, 77,000 is for your living expenses. 23,000 is to either invest or save. And that's how they have such a great economy, and that's how everyone has a lot of buying power. Here we don't have that at all. Something like 74% of Americans have less than $1,000 in a savings account. Like, and that's not even. You could antiquate that and even marginalize that to the point where you could go 40% of Americans don't have anything in a savings account.
Yeah.
Like it's so far. It just little numbers, 100 here, 100 there. That's going to change like an entire, tenth of 100%.
Yeah.
You're going to change a lot of numbers just by moving that. And then you go to like the 5%. Where they've got millions in savings, like they don't understand what it's like to be poor, and when I say poor, I mean fucking middle class.
Wow.
Which, look, I want to get this out the way because we are entitling this episode "Fuck Tim Pool," and
Are we?
we are because fuck Tim Pool.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who Tim Pool is. He was actually he was a journalist. He worked for Salon.com. He worked for certain left wing. He was very, very left journalist who, I don't know, for a lack of better term, sold out. And I don't mean against Salon.com, because Salon.com is garbage. So I don't mean that. But he's kind of gotten into some more fame recently. He was on Joe Rogan just last week. I have had a lot of people recently talk to me and be like, "Oh, you got to check out Tim Pool. I think you'd love Tim Pool." And the reason why they think I like him is because he is a adamant first, freedom of speech guy. Totally agrees with it. Nobody should be doxxed. No one should be taken off Twitter or Instagram.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. Totally agree. But, and I will say this too. He also constantly says things like, "Yeah, well, I don't want to make a false statement. I want to be 100% positive with what I'm saying." And that's
Sure.
great. You want that, right?
Yeah.
So I started looking into him, started researching what he does and what he said and who he's talked to and how he's talked. The first bit of, I don't know, the first bit of, I don't know, alertism in me went off when talking to Joe Rogan. He said, "Oh yeah, I got 2 channels. I put up videos all the time, and the second channel is just more of a rant. I just go and I rant about things." He says, "But of course I don't swear." And that throws off red flags to me, because when you're on the fringe and you're about being honest, I think of like Kyle Kalinske.
Mm-hmm.
I think of like Jimmy Dore. I think of people, you even want to take it to the other side, even Crowder, which I do think he's also kind of a shill, but or Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is a perfect example. I don't think he's a shrill.
No.
I mean, or a shill. I think he has gotten money, but I think he fucking believes that shit.
Yeah.
And they have no problem cussing, because they're not worried about corporate money. Who cares? If I'm not marketable, eat my dick. Like that's their
They're
take.
there to make a statement.
Yeah. So when he's like, "But of course I don't swear," I'm like, that's kind of weird. Let me just note that. Let me just put that on my board. He released a video yesterday, and the reason why I bring this ultimately is because I want to talk about a Green New Deal, and the details were released on Thursday. He released a video about Ocasio-Cortez Green New Deal. He released 2 videos, I should say, because the first one came out Saturday, and on Saturday he made so many mistakes, and so many assumptions about Ocasio-Cortez, her team, and what they're pushing for. The first one being that this is a resolution. It's not a bill, meaning it's not law. It is a promise. It's a, hey, this is a good start. And she got over 70 congressmen to sign off on it. Over 59% of the country, over 65% of the country agrees that we should implement a lot of these things. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And even 59% of Republicans think that this is a good idea.
Wow.
But Tim Pool, much like Tucker Carlson and a lot of clickbaity people, hung on to certain verbiage that was released. So on Thursday, when this was released, if you went to her website, part of it said that we will offer aid for those who are unwilling to work. And of course, everyone exploded over this. And this was also on Joe Rogan. Tim Pool was talking about that and saying how insane that is. Well, the interesting thing is, and they just trashed her and how could you do that, and blah, 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 blah. Well, came out, that was a rough draft of the resolution. It wasn't the final product. It wasn't what people signed off on. It wasn't what anyone had agreed to. It was just a rough draft. So, okay, fine, right? That makes sense. Tim Pool doubles down on it and says, yeah, but this is what they're talking about. Can you imagine what they're actually wanting to do if this is what they're talking about? Now, doesn't it sound like a lot of assumptions that he's putting in
Yeah.
here? And doesn't it also seem like he's, instead of saying, you know what, I fucked up, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I should have done my homework. I should have looked at the actual resolution, not what was on her website. I should have looked at what people were actually signing. And if you wanted to, by the way, the actual resolution was on her website. It was on the home page of her website. They found this other one in the FAQ section of her website. And they go forward to also bash the fact that in there, and it's what it says is, we want to make air travel. We want to get air travel so where it is, it's a non-necessity. And they say, look, they're trying to get rid of air travel. No, never said that. They're talking about bringing up high-speed rail and funding
It'd be
that.
cool.
It'd be pretty cool, especially for someone who, I mean, it's a cheaper option.
Yeah.
And I think
Better
it
for the
kills-
environment.
Way better for the environment. The thing that kills me about that too is, what is that? When you bring something new to market to test against and to fight against other products, isn't that capitalism?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, right? But they've got a problem with it because it was something she said, and they said, "Oh, it's just pie in the sky, kind of dreaming." And look what she's trying to do to the
Don't take our
air
planes.
travel, economy. She's trying to kill that economy, maybe, but I don't think so. She's not actively going after. She's just bringing out a new product. But so Tim Pool just keeps going in on this, and he keeps talking about how, they really just want they want to give people money that don't want to work, and who are they getting that money from? They're getting it from us. And I thought, that's really, you're supposed to be liberal, and the thing that really gets me about him too, I'll just go off on a little bit of a side note, is he does nothing but apologize for Trump and for Alex Jones. He makes tons of excuses for a lot of right-wing people, which there again is fine if that's what you think. On this show alone, I've said, look, I don't really believe the collusion shit. That's fine if you have reason, and if you market yourself as, look, I'm just kind of reporting things. I don't go, I'm trying to be as unbiased as possible. But he calls himself a liberal. He obviously shows some bias. But when you actually listen to what he's saying, it seems to be just an apologist for the right. He went on to talk about how fucked up Antifa is, and that Antifa is... No one's paying attention to Antifa. They go after the Proud Boys. They go after groups like that, but no one talks about how violent Antifa is. He omitted the fact, though, that in 2018, every murder that was committed by a political group was from the alt-right.
Really?
Yes. Every political related murder in 2018, which was a lot more than you think,
Yeah.
was
I'm sure.
all from the alt-right. But he talked about how they're villainized. Well, of course they are. They're fucking
Yeah.
killing people.
Well, that's the same.
Antifa is fucked up. Don't get me wrong.
But
But
that's the same reason the Black Lives Matter got such a stain on their reputation, was because for a while I backed them, but then they went and started rioting and killing cops, and it's like, yeah, of course they're going to be villainized because they're doing shitty things.
yeah. And like I said, Antifa, yeah, they are fucked up. I agree with that, too.
By the way,
But I would not omit the fact that the most dangerous group is the
Yeah.
alt-right.
and just real quick side note, I think that has something to do with their God complex with guns. I'm not saying owning a gun makes you a killer. No, that'd be stupid.
Yeah, that's...
But
yeah.
I know a lot of Republican people, and a lot of them have this God complex where they're just like itching to use it. And I'm like, listen, I get it. Like, if you want to go out and shoot, cool. Just make sure it's not at like a school. But they have this weird fantasy that we've talked about where it's just like, oh, I wish someone would break into my house.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, I get it. Don't you think that's a little weird that
I
you're
think-
so eager to take someone's
I
life?
think that whole thing is crazy, too, which yeah, like why would you want someone to break into your house?
Right, you want to take a life?
So at 3 a.m. when you're sleeping with a rod going on, you want someone to just break
Right.
in. You're like, oh shit! And
Right.
you're like, you're trying to figure out your the lock to your safe, but you keep knocking shit over with your heart on, and you're like, fuck! I hear. Oh no, there goes one dog. Oh, there goes the second dog. Oh shit! Ah, my gun! Where's my gun? Honey, where's the gun? Oh, I took it to work. What? What about the gun? It's in the car. Oh, fuck. Yeah, why would you want that?
I looked up this Tim Pool guy, by the way.
Yeah,
Looks like a real douchebag. He's got a chin strap and everything.
he's a pretty, but that's the thing. He looks like and he advertises that he's left, but he will make all sorts of assumptions on behalf of the far left. And I'm not look, I'm not even saying far left, because I think Bernie and Ocasio-Cortez, if you think they're far left, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah.
There are some psychos out there.
And, not that I like to make assumptions based on one's looks, but I will say this. He has, and feel free to disagree, but for some reason he has a face that just screams he's going to be the staple of something.
Yeah.
He just looks like now, don't take this out of context. David Hogg. He kind of looks like he'd be the staple of something,
yeah,
and
it's
he
like the
was.
leader. Yeah.
Not that he's a crisis actor.
Me. I
Yeah,
look like
you
the
look
leader
like
of
you'd
the
be
show.
the staple of an orgy, and you're on bottom. But no, this guy just looks like he'd be the face of something, and not in a good way.
I agree. And yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. But it's just, and it got to me as I was listening to this guy, and he would make all these assumptions. One of the things that he was talking about was he gets on to equal pay, and how what Ocasio-Cortez in the Green New Deal states is how it's to give, actually, it's not equal. It's to give more reparation, so to speak, to women and people of color. And he doesn't go into how he thinks that. He just goes in to break that down. And it's really easy to find out what she's talking about because it's all over the place. She talks about it. And in fact, that interview I heard with her on Hot 97, she was talking about it. What she said was there are things that, in an ironical stance, would be awesome if people of color had opportunities at. What she then went into was to talk about marijuana shops and how they're making millions of dollars. They're blowing up everywhere, but they're already becoming corporatized, meaning you can't get into it unless you have $100,000 to get your applications in, let alone the building, the infrastructure along, with that, your POS system, your inventory system, grow house, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you got to be a damn near millionaire.
Yeah.
She said what we should do, and namely because a lot of people of color have been locked up for committing drug crimes, that, nonviolent drug crimes like marijuana, we should allow people of color to have a better chance to own marijuana shops. What's wrong with that? I mean, I don't care who, as long as I'm not looking at the majority. I mean, because here's the thing. Here's the options that we have. We go with her plan, where if you're of color, you have an advantage at owning a shop. If we don't go that one, then we'll just stick with the one that we're at, where you have to have millions of dollars to own one.
Don't you think we're still kind of stereotyping, though?
What do you mean?
In the sense that, like every white teenager looks for the black dude with dreads to buy weed from.
No, and let me just say, I use that as an example, and I should have been more open. Many other businesses too, not just that, but just giving people of color a chance to own and work in small businesses.
Oh yeah.
Like I own a small business, and my I think my interest rate is like 6 to 8%. She's saying they should have a 0% interest rate. That's what she's saying. That 6 to 8% they shouldn't have to pay.
Why?
Because in a way to help them.
But
And to be proved, a lot of it is okay. And I should have. Sorry, back off that again, because if you tried to get the same one, you wouldn't get 6 to 8%. You would probably be in the 20s.
20%?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know what your credit score is, but be it your age and that you haven't, technically, you probably don't have great credit.
No.
And that's what she's talking about too, is if you're able to get a loan for a small business, if you are a person of color, which most of them, there's no chance in hell. But if you're even able to, you're paying 20 to 30% in interest, and they shouldn't have to pay these huge rates, namely just because they were never given the opportunity, let's say, of the same opportunity the Asians were given. You know why the Asians look so good in our country?
Mm-hmm.
Because in, post World War II, when people thought that we were racist against Asians, and we kind of were, by the way, yeah, we then said, hey, we're going to build this group up, and we're going to give them small business loans, 0% interest, and some of them they didn't even have to pay back. We just outright gave them businesses. And, oh my God, Asian communities are strong as hell.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we do all this for other people. And who's the fucking people who built our country?
Asians.
Well, no. I was
Irish.
African American,
Nah.
Mexican. And yeah, I mean, of course you're Irish, but I mean, they got theirs already.
They got the potatoes.
So that's what she's talking about. That's where they're saying they're coming across, and Tim Pool is saying, no, see, they just want to give all of your money to, people of color and women. No, that was never stated. And why are you making these assumptions based on something that you could find out pretty easily? I did not have to do that much work to find that out. I really didn't. So yeah, in closing, fuck you, Tim Pool. You're a piece of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really unimpressed with him, and that's what I did most of my weekend was
Dog on Tim Pool.
I went in I actually went in thinking I'm gonna like this guy, and so and then come to find out, he's a big Kamala Harris fan.
Oh.
Yeah, Kamala Harris, who has recently said, yeah, well, maybe instead of a single payer system for insurance, we'll expand Obamacare. Already backing out of what people want. 70% of people want health care for everyone. Not expanding them. I don't even hate is Michael Bennett. Not the football player.
Oh.
I think that's his name, from Colorado. Him and Tim Kaine, who I'm not a big fan of Tim Kaine, but they want to start a public option. That's their idea. I don't even hate that as much as I hate let's expand Obamacare. Obamacare sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was better than what we had, but we've already have it now. So let's
better than what we have.
Well, that's better than we have now, true. But let's go beyond that. We've got a lot more support for doing things that the people want. The majority of the people. Maybe not the people in this area, and in fact, I would argue that point, if I'm being honest. I don't know how many people I've talked to locally who are like, yeah, we should definitely have health care for everyone. I mean, we're the only country, and I think that's the only thing that bothers me when we're talking about Ocasio-Cortez's plan, is almost all of these things have been done in other countries, and those countries are better off for it. And
well, but what they like to do is relate socialism to places like Venezuela.
Right, exactly. And as I was detailing the Green New Deal, I pointed out, and you pointed out as well, she's talking about some of these things are capitalist ideas, like. But no, that's not what that is. No, no, it's all socialism. It's like, no, she's talking about what everyone else is talking about. We have to be a mixed economy.
And
that's the only way it's going to
people
work.
Don't understand it. They did the same thing when Bernie ran for president. They thought we wanted to go to a strictly socialist country, and nobody has said that.
Nobody wants that. It's the same thing about how many people want open borders. Nobody.
Yeah, no, that's the thing.
I mean,
I don't want open borders.
No, I think we should have we should have a dome.
Yeah, honestly.
Just a giant fucking dome. And then we should somehow figure out a way to make it waterproof,
right,
ice-proof, sun-proof. Continue fucking up the country, the climate, and we'll be fine.
Unless we could make it a greenhouse.
No, you're getting too you're getting too green on it. No,
No.
fuck it. Keep living the way we are.
Fair enough.
Which always makes me kind of wonder when you're talking about that, like, getting into religion a little bit.
Oh man.
No, and I'm not going to go too far. I'm really not. But sometimes I wonder, like, why do religious people give a shit about the future?
I don't know, because, I mean, all I'm saying is that if I was super religious, I would say, who gives a fuck if like, I wouldn't care if Yellowstone went off. Because
that's my...
if it goes off, I know where I'm going. I don't care.
That is so much of a better point. Yeah, why do they even care about dying?
Yeah. Oh, where were you going with it?
I was thinking climate, future, but, let's be honest. I guess a lot of religious people probably don't care about the climate.
Huh.
But, yeah, no, I mean, why do they? I mean, why do they want to carry a gun? Someone's going to, attack me. Oh, fucking awesome. You're going to go see Joseph or whoever.
Joseph.
I don't know. Who's the dude at who's the guy at the gates? Peter. Right? Same Peter?
Peter. Yeah. I almost said Paul.
Paul.
What's up, Paul?
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
No, I agree. It's all wacky.
Like, I wish I had that. Like, I wish I had, like, I don't give a fuck.
I'm
going to go to heaven. It's going to be
And there are
tight.
a lot, which you and I are pretty, or have pretty much like mind when it comes to religion. I think I even give it a little bit more slack than you.
Oh, you give it way more than I do.
And and that's the thing is I don't give it much. Like, when I really sit down and talk with someone, I'm like, God, I sound like such an asshole.
I just don't point. I mean, I'll break it out in facts and and not even that, but also like just personal fact. Like, I don't know. I'll say I'll do comparisons, but I think where we differ is I also bash like Muzzies and Hebrews and
Absolutely, the Hebs.
yeah,
absolutely
I bash them all.
And sometimes I wish I was super religious because I would have that sense of ignorance is bliss.
Right.
Like, if I wish I was super religious sometimes so I could just be like, doesn't matter. God's got it. I'm going to heaven. So what if Yosemite goes off? I wouldn't live my
flying sharks coming to get me. I'm good.
Right. I wouldn't feel a small earthquake and I'm like, this is it.
Yeah, no.
Because I did the other night. Actually, I was laying in bed.
You felt an earthquake?
Yeah, it was a little one. Like, just enough where I kind of felt the bed move.
Really?
Just enough. It was evening or maybe late night. I can't remember. But, man, someone was blowing up my phone.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Someone's calling you a liar. Like, no, that didn't happen. You liar. Tell him the truth. You had Taco Bell for lunch. It was making a resurgence.
And honest to God, my first thought when I felt the bed move went to Yosemite. I'm literally that freaked out by it that I was like, oh my God, this is it.
You wouldn't even, what it'd probably sound like? It'd probably sound like a train coming, like right over your head. Because it would be just a of like fucking lava and shit.
We're pretty far, dog.
We are. I mean,
I don't think we'd hit lava.
You don't think we'd hit lava? I thought we would.
I really don't think so. I mean, listen, I could be wrong.
I don't know.
I haven't looked at it, but I don't think we'd hit lava. I think we'd just get the smoke and everything and the sulfur.
We might.
We may get lava if there's enough.
I thought some of it would. I don't know. I might be completely wrong.
I guess I've also never.
You don't want to look into it? You're like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, no, not honestly. Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Way off topic.
That's all right. Apparently, we have ADD today.
What kind of phone do you have?
I have an LG V20.
Have you ever had a S7 Samsung?
No.
Okay, so it does this weird thing where, like, if I have the conversation open with someone,
yeah,
I've noticed sometimes I'll like set it down, and like I'm kind of watching it to see if it does again. I'll set it down or something, or put it upside down, and I'll come back and it called them. Now the weird thing is, like, so I'll go to you right here. I have to click this. And then it brings up the call menu, and I have to hit that, right?
Right.
It doesn't do that. It literally just goes straight to calling them. It doesn't even ask, and I don't know why.
Just from your messages?
Just from...
that is weird.
Super weird, right? And it does it every now and then. I've done it a couple times, and people will be like, why'd you call me? And just not say anything. I'm like, I didn't mean to. It just...
Who are you
my
calling? Rick
bullshit.
Moranis? Why didn't you call me?
Calling Mark Levin.
Yeah. No, I've never had that.
It's
problem.
weird, dude.
I've never had that problem. That's weird. You got like a fucking
I think it's haunted.
yeah. I couldn't even come up with the name. That one creature that haunts people's electronics, a poltergeist.
Oh,
You've had
yeah.
a poltergeist
yeah,
in your
yeah,
phone.
I know.
It's all right.
Yeah.
They just want you to be more connected to your friends and family. Maybe
guess.
it's God telling you something.
That I need to start getting in contact with people?
Yeah, volcano's coming, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Time to make your amends.
I've got too many to make. Unlike my name is Earl,
Yeah,
just with less drive. I don't care.
and funnier too.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not a good show.
Actually, it was pretty good.
No, really?
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, I never got into that show.
Really?
No.
I mean, it's okay. I'm not gonna.
I may have been too young, too, though.
Yeah, that might have been an issue. I always had like hangover issues with it because it would always be on when I'm having a hangover.
Oh, yeah.
And anything you watch when you're having a hangover is not like
No.
you're not interested. And then when you think about watching it, you have that memory of being hungover,
Yeah, I know.
and it happened
You can feel your
multiple
head.
times.
Ugh.
Yeah, no. Aside from our trip of ADD, I just want to follow one last thing with the Green New Deal.
Okay.
And that is just they always ask Ocasio-Cortez and Bernie Sanders about how they're going to pay for health care. How are you going to pay for the single-payer system? Not going to happen. It's a dream. And the thing that, aside from the fact that we don't mention, hey, we're in 8 wars around the world, and we don't worry about how we pay for that.
Maybe 9.
Maybe 9. We never talk about how we're going to pay for those, and they're all regime change fucking wars, which we got some talk about that coming up too, which is just fantastic. The other thing is they just don't understand that we wouldn't have the current healthcare system we have. The current healthcare system we have costs us $34 trillion over 10 years. The single payer system would cost $32 trillion over 10 years. To me, and look, I'm not great at math, but it sounds like we would be in the surplus of $2 trillion.
Yeah.
They just omit this stuff. They don't talk about it. And by the way, that study comes from a Mercatus study that was sponsored by the Koch brothers. That study was meant to make single payer look bad. I've heard other polls that actually and research is done that actually say that we would save about 5 to 7 trillion. Like,
Which, I mean, you look in the grand scheme of things, 2 trillion compared to 32, 34 trillion, not much. But when you think what you can do with 2 trillion,
right.
Trump only wants 5 billion for this wall.
Well, and that's your money to forgive all student loans.
No, yeah.
1.5 trillion is all we
And
need
that
for
would
that.
bolster the economy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it really would. I mean, my family alone pays $600 a month in student loans. I mean, so yeah, you go around all the people who own money. They're spending a lot more money.
Still with the
Be
white
great for the
people.
economy. Then we can raise minimum wage. I mean, all of these things are tied in, but they don't understand that they're so secular in what they believe. As far as I shouldn't even say secular. I should say narrowed. And well, that has nothing to do with the climate. Yeah, it really does, because we also got to create manufacturing jobs, which means we need to create a whole new infrastructure, which means we need to have more money, which means we need to spend more money. We need to get more taxes, which means everybody needs to be taxable. That's the other thing. Andrew Cuomo was talking about how I hope the rich never leave because 46% of them pay taxes. Okay, fair enough.
46% of them pay taxes?
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with that statement. First of all, I don't think 46% of them pay taxes.
They probably do.
Eh.
What,
2% of what they actually owe?
His thing is they pay 46% of the taxes in New York. That's what he said.
No.
Now, I don't doubt that. I really don't. But Warren Buffett came out, I don't know, a while ago, and he said to all CEOs and hedge fund managers and people like that, and he said, look, if you can prove that you pay less percentage of your tax than what your secretary does, I'll give you $1 million. Or if you prove that you pay more taxes than your secretary, I'll give you $1 million. Nobody came forward because secretary makes probably 80 grand. She's taxed at 15, 20%. And you've got Mr. Billionaire, millionaire, and they're taxed at 9%.
Yeah.
So, in the whole scope of things, is 9% of a billion more than 20% of 80? Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
it is.
100%. But who's it going to hurt more?
Right.
So, yeah, and that's the argument with Mr. Cuomo. It would be that if everybody made more money, then everybody would be paying more taxes.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have people who are in the middle to upper class. Now they're going to be rich because they're going to get more money. The economy needs to grow. People who, and I think a lot of it was a shot at people who aren't taxed. There's a lot of people who aren't because
Yeah.
they don't make enough money. Well, then they're going to make enough money and they will be taxed.
Yeah.
Instead of the many just living on breadcrumbs, but give them a livable wage. Instead of $7.25 at McDonald's, they'll be making $15 an hour somewhere. Now they can pay their fair share. We'll be fine. We'll do a lot more. I mean, it doesn't just have to be one way or the other. There has to be compromises all the way, but we have to be on the same track, and we're just not.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that does it for my little spiel on the Green New Deal and everything. I've just been hearing so much bullshit about it and how it's wrong. And most of the conversation starts from the draft. And just one last thing. Is it not crazy to think that people would come up with a lot of fucking ideas?
Yeah.
And maybe one of them was, and Ocasio-Cortez did defend the unwilling to work thing when she said, look, we talked about it because we said, what if you had somebody who was a minor for 20, 30 years, he's in your mid-50s, and you don't feel like retraining to do another job?
Mm-hmm.
That was the unwilling. But we took it out. And when you look at it from that perspective, you're like, that actually kind of seems fair.
Yeah, I get
mean,
that.
you're 5 to 10 years away from retirement, and now they want you to learn to code.
Yeah.
That is kind of bullshit. But, and again, they took it out, though. So, I mean, like,
Yeah.
that's whatever. However you take that, I just take it as when you're listening to people like Tim Pool and your so-called centralist left-leaning people, they are bought and sold.
Mm-hmm.
George Soros, and I hate to sound like Alex Jones, but George Soros, Hillary Clinton, all of them have essentially have money in their pockets, and that's why they're going to sit there and agree with the same fucking bullshit, the same rhetoric that we disagree with as progressives. Be a populist, not a fucking drone.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we will be back. We're going to take a quick break. We got fun stuff to talk about.
Do we?
I'm excited.
Okay.
Saudi Arabia is involved.
Oh, good.
I love Saudi Arabia. Anyway, we'll be back. Oh, God. I hate Monday shows. Like, I hate how we come back so political.
I know.
When we miss a bunch of days, there's like so much to catch up on, though. You get me on a Wednesday, and I'm like, I'm spent for the week. You dying?
I breathed in my own spit. So,
Delicious.
yeah, I have a dilemma.
Yeah, what's up?
I need to go to the dentist.
Yeah?
My tooth is fucked. So remember a couple years ago when I got my wisdom teeth out?
Yeah.
Well, this back left molar, after they took it out, for some reason it was just broken. Like, literally. It felt like if somebody just kind
Like
of...
a jagged edge on it and stuff?
Yeah, like kind of cut a little sliver off, but didn't totally cut it off.
Yeah.
Well, last year it broke off, and I got a hole there, which sucks.
Excuse me. Yeah.
God. It hasn't really given me problems up until like this last couple of weeks. It hurts so bad. Like it's just aching.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's infected.
That or it's a cavity, I'm sure. I mean, it's literally just like a big chunk of my tooth is gone.
Right.
I try to keep it as clean and brush it as well as I can, but it's an open hole.
It's
like,
a gaping vagina in your
yeah,
mouth.
like,
Like what are
you
you
can
gonna
only do so much. But it sucks. Because I don't have dental insurance either.
Yeah, that's
So-
where you're gonna be.
I'm hurting.
That's where you're really gonna be fucked.
Mm-hmm.
And you, like me, recently got a new car,
Yep.
and that's fucky in itself.
Yeah. So basically, I'm just living out every day in a lot of pain.
Have you tried OxyContin?
No.
It really helps.
Yeah, and honestly,
And
at
if you
this
keep
point,
if you keep using it for a while, it's fine. There's really no issues
no.
with it.
And at this point, I probably would. I'm serious, dude. Like last night, I was laying in bed and I was like, if there's anything hard in this house, I'm eating it. Like hard medicine, like Oxy
oh.
or Hydro.
Yeah, don't try to booze it.
What?
Drink it. Drink it to numbness.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it doesn't work really.
No, it doesn't.
It actually like increases
Irritates
your
it
blood
more.
flow. Yeah, because what's your blood like? If you hold on to that nerve kind of vein that's by your ear,
Yeah, I know.
it'll stop it.
Oh, I know. I was doing that earlier, if you noticed.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh, God. It's relief. And then I let go, and it's like, oh, fuck.
My God, it's back. Do you sleep laying down?
How the fuck else would I sleep?
Try to sleep sitting up.
Well, I can't.
Not at all. Like not in a
No.
chair or propped
Oh,
up.
no.
Or prop pillows up so you're kind
Why?
of sitting. Because the blood flow doesn't. It won't all rush to your head, which is like. Did you wake up this morning or last night like in
Last
a lot
night,
of pain? Yeah, that's because all that blood is flowing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
That
good to
kind of get
know.
you out of some of it. Like
Yeah, that's good to know.
I don't.
Fuck, dude, it hurts.
I can't think of anyone on top of my head that would. Which was illegal anyway, so we wouldn't be talking about doing anything illegal.
No,
like
absolutely
getting you
not.
prescription drugs from somebody.
Oh, for real.
Do you know what though? Apparently, the border there's like tons and tons of it.
Yeah, there's
So
a
if
fuck ton coming in through legal ports.
Yeah, if you just go down there's tons of oxy.
For real.
Now that is fucking horrible though. Oh, and don't smoke weed.
Why?
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, it'll fuck you up too.
I know. Trust me, I know.
You should have asked me. I would have given you some advice.
No, I just learned the hard way.
Excedrin, ibuprofen, alternating them.
I took,
And it can almost take so much it makes you sick.
you know, I don't take medicine for anything. I'm just much more, not like the hippie level, but I'm just more of a natural person. Like, you know,
Like it's going to do more harm than good.
yeah, like
Yeah.
headache. Now, I mean, I don't take a lot of ibuprofen, so if I take some now and then, I'm not worried about it because
Yeah, that's
it's the people who take it regularly. But like the last couple nights, I've taken 4. Like I've taken 800 the last couple nights because it hurt so bad.
Jesus.
I know, and I'm not gonna do that tonight because I don't want to get in that habit. But
I get into a I don't know. I'm probably getting into a bad thing. Really, I take like 1 ibuprofen 200 a day,
really,
and I probably shouldn't.
it's not too bad for you.
I don't think so. I don't know. Everyone keeps saying no
But
because
I
you're taking
also-
half the dose. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but and it's the only thing that cures my headaches.
I know,
And I'm getting bad
but I also
headaches.
just don't like taking medicine.
Yeah. No, I
I
agree.
try to find more natural stuff.
Because you find out in a month or a year or a decade that because like weren't you on Proactive a little bit when you were like in
No, it's
teenage-
Accutane.
Accutane, yeah, and then they found
Yeah.
out, oh, that fucks up your liver really bad.
Yeah, if you take it in the wrong doses, which like I took it the right way, so I'm kind of hoping it doesn't bite me, but who knows at this point.
Nexium. Nexium's
Next
another
thing, yeah, I've heard that.
the heartburn
Um,
drug like that.
I kind of
destroys
been
your
wanting to try
kidneys.
CBD.
That might help. I don't know.
I don't
got
know.
a lot of it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But I don't. Yeah, I only have it that place. I don't have any at my house. I
Oh
can say
fuck.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I think So I don't know if you've noticed. I haven't vaped for a long while. Every now and then I'll see you take a hit, and I'm like, oh, can I? Like it makes me start kind of jonesing for one. But for the last month or so, I've been really good. Like I haven't even thought about it because I don't know if it's allergies or what it is, but I have a breathing problem where like if I lay down or something, it just
Yeah.
feels like super tight. Yeah, it's not good.
That
but
might be something else.
nah, I honestly don't think it's anything
You
serious
know, I
because
have
I've
like these weird bumps on my skin.
yeah, no, but I've had it for years.
I get you.
Like that's why I'm not like, oh my god, I'm having a heart attack because I've literally had it for years.
Oh, I didn't mean that. But
But I'm just tired of it.
anyway, 5 seconds still.
So I'm gonna
live.
start vaping again.
Fuck it, I don't come vaping.
Welcome back to Revolution Radio. Back from break.
We will.
We discussed how we were both going to die.
Yeah. I was gonna say I don't think I really did, but I guess
No.
maybe a little bit. So okay, last bit of political. It's not really political, but it is kind of. Anyone can make anything political, which is really fucking annoying.
Remember
anymore.
last show at the end how we were like, we promise this next show won't be very political?
Well, we thought we were going into Wednesday. Fucking.
A week later, almost.
Thanks to me getting sick, yeah. And I have to ask you your opinion of this and how you feel about it. One of the major news stories that came out that was not reported on highly, and if it was reported inaccurately, was the headlines. A lot of them read this way: Iranian militias end up with U.S. guns.
Okay.
And you're like, huh. Well, here's what really happened. The Saudi Arabians gave U.S.-made weapons to Al-Qaeda to fight the war in Yemen. And the militias from Iran killed them
Yeah.
and took the guns. So
I mean, I kind of figured we just sold straight to Iran, but we're not above that.
I mean, I feel like we almost should in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I am really torn on that. I don't know if I went into that, but like the
Not
Shi'i,
really, but I
the
agree.
Sunni,
And the
Shiite,
Shiites.
like you come in and you look and you're like, the Sunnis are actually dicks.
Mhm.
We back the Sunnis, but they also back like dictators. The Shiites back more democracy.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, Saudi Arabia in general is one of those things where I'm like, I don't know why we're there, why we're helping them. Fuck them. You know, do we want oil? Do we want cheap oil? Let's actually like reduce the sanctions we have on Venezuela and help them out and be like, hey, we're a buddy. Can you help us out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you get more honey with
Yeah.
sugar than you do with dick juice. You know, like,
What?
Nobody ever.
What?
It's the way it is. Have you tried getting bees?
I mean, I don't know.
I tried both ways to get bees. I used honey and I used dick juice.
Hey, fair enough.
Ended up with a really swollen dick.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, we're actually friends to, I don't know, especially there in South America. Like, they're so close, it'd be much cheaper. I don't know. But we deal with Saudi Arabia all the time. And now we're finding out that, and by the way, the fact that they gave these weapons to Al Qaeda is a huge no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they broke some serious laws. What do you think we should do? Should we do anything? Will we do
We
anything?
need to glass them. Yes, we should. No, we won't do anything.
I kind of agree. It's bullshit, though. It's complete bullshit. I mean, and it's not like a majority of them were involved in some major terrorist attack against our country.
Right.
I mean, no. 'Cause
Only
well, it was
7
only,
out
it was
of
only
9?
15 out of 19.
Oh, there are that many.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
A lot of people involved.
There were.
Yeah. No, I mean, you know, but look, and the fact that they're giving weapons to Al Qaeda,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, let it go, right? You know, but don't we dare fucking move from Syria or
Right.
Afghanistan. Like, that's our real enemies.
Right.
They're the ones who are giving weapons to, like, people who actually attacked America. But, fuck it. I don't know, it really just irritated me. Hey, did you catch the Grammys last night? Everyone's talking about that.
No, I didn't. I saw a couple highlights,
You can see where I'm like, yeah, everyone's talking about that.
like a build the wall dress, which I was actually going to bring up.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you didn't see that?
No, I didn't watch the Grammys.
But you haven't seen anything on it?
No, I've been really busy.
That actually really surprised me. Let me look it up for you real quick. So basically,
Is it over her nether regions?
no.
See a bunch of Mexicans running under her skirt.
Right. This gal named Joy Villa, which I'll get into a little bit of her in a second. This is what she wore last night. If you remember, she's the same one last year that wore the Make America Great Again, that blue dress.
Oh, so she's in favor of it.
Yeah, do you remember that, though?
No.
You will. Let me see here. This.
You say that, but... yeah, I don't remember
Oh, you don't?
that. No.
Okay, so her name is Joy Villa. Her stage name is Princess Joy Villa. You ever heard of her?
Why is she at the Grammys?
You ever heard of her?
No.
Yeah, no, me neither.
That's why I'm like, who is she?
Me
Why
neither.
is she there?
I don't know. Honestly, I've never heard of her. To top it off, her net worth is about $3 million. Her annual is about $620,000. To put that in perspective, Eminem's net worth.
Well, yeah. Go
Right,
ahead.
I'm just saying
Go ahead.
Eminem, because everybody knows who Eminem is.
Yeah.
His net worth is about $216 million. So.
Well, I mean, poor musicians can be there. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, but
But I'm just wondering what she did.
I think I don't know. Part of me kind of feels like she's doing this more for.
Like, has she? I'm more. Do we have any of her music?
I can get you some.
Oh, we got another chord now.
Oh, do we?
We do. We got 2 of them.
Damn. That's
Fucking thank you,
pretty
Will.
cool.
You gave us another cord that we actually really
now work
needed.
on the internet.
Internet's fine. The gerbils,
Is
he's
it-
still kicking. Just running in that wheel, making the
How about?
powering our internet.
Do you want?
Just do her most popular song. It's
Oh,
been
she has a
not-
"Make America Great Again" song.
Is that her most popular song?
I don't know.
I just think we should be nice and let
It's
her
a
do.
music video.
I don't care. You got it.
I'm pulling it up now. Oh wait, hold up. Why is this taking me to Fox News Network?
It's Hannity dancing in a speedo.
That would make me really happy.
Oh God, you'd have to leave the room for a little bit.
It's 4 minutes long. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, that's
I think this should be it.
we playing.
Oh my god, this is awful. Watch this. She's in her "Make America Great Again."
Seems like we were lost our way. Where did we go astray? The lies that we've been told have put our dreams on hold. And you know, if we don't watch out, we could all go under and drown. Yeah,
I mean, she's hot.
depends on us.
Think?
So we gotta wake up.
Oh, she's
gotta
way
shake it
way
up
better than I could
now.
ever get.
Let's make America great again. We can come back twice as strong.
You know, none of the people in this video knew what they were in.
Every hungry child, be the son of every free
What is this music though?
Yes, my dear.
Like, don't look at her. Listen to the music.
Great again. Make America great again.
It's almost like hymnal.
It almost like
Make America
how is she not bigger?
Because she sucks.
Like she is awful.
make America
I mean, the only singer I can think that's worse than her is Adam Levine.
hold back
Fuck you.
the anger and
Oh,
hate.
watch the Super Bowl again
I
and tell
did.
me he's a good singer.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but like she's trash.
No, it's not good at all.
That was bad.
That's really bad. But I'm just surprised that she's not huge.
Why?
I mean, look how big Kanye got after his whole I love Trump, he's my daddy.
He was
he's my
already
white daddy.
big though.
He was.
People already knew him.
But the right wing was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, we finally got one of color. Yeah, I mean, she's Mexican, it looks like.
I think she's black.
I don't know. Vila's a
Maybe she's like Cuban or Puerto Rican.
or she, what was that thing from Family Guy? She's some kind of Spanish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just surprised that she's not huge. It's awful, but I mean, and to be fair to her, if you played a random Cardi B song, I'd probably be like, oh, this is pretty awful too.
Oh, see, I kind of like Cardi B.
I don't know. I can't.
I kind of do.
Why don't you play some Cardi B real
Okay,
quick?
cool.
Give us some talking music.
You know what's really shitty, by the way? I got brainwashed into liking Cardi B.
I really hope, by the way, we're
I,
not doxxed on this.
Why?
Because certain places what we stream out of may not have licensing for these songs.
Well, we're
I
gonna
hope
find
not.
out.
If so, we're really sorry. 24/7. We love you guys.
I don't know. what
By the
song to
way,
play. Oh,
while you're
yeah, I
looking
do.
at any of our listeners, check out 24.7 stream. They have a lot of awesome shit. They've got like the Kevin Hawley show. They're doing our show. Just a fantastic fucking network to check out. But
You ready?
yeah, let's go.
This is Cardi B. I like it. I got brainwashed into liking
Introducing
her.
Square Card.
This is an ad.
Wow, I love
I did
this.
not like her before, and then
It's also your call.
yeah, somebody brainwashed me into liking it. I'm sure you can guess who.
I have issues with Cardi B, to be honest.
Why?
It's just
Oh, it's buffering. The internet's fine.
I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1,000,000.
She's from New
deals.
York.
What's my
Bear that in
plan?
mind.
Bitch, I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance.
I think it's catchy.
I'll say this. I like it better than I like Migos.
Oh, for real? Okay, so you know
Yeah.
what's funny?
What?
She's actually married to one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I do not.
I like Migos.
Really? You just call them the Amigos.
I said the Migos, but I shouldn't have because it's
Right?
still Migos.
It's really hard not to do
Fucked
that.
me up. Hold up.
I'm just saying, I like it better than a lot of mumble rap out there. I will definitely say that.
Here we go. I got it for you. Don't worry.
My-
I'll change your mind.
My issue with Cardi B is the way she can't say a sentence without cussing 50 times. And I just think, as a person, I have an issue with that. Like, not like a moral issue, not even a...
Put that thing in sports. Shout it bad. Pop it like a court. You
Yeah.
No?
No.
Not feeling it?
pull up.
I mean, like, half of the shit is auto-tuned.
Or ad libs.
And it
I
doesn't,
always get a kick out of the ad libs.
it doesn't really make sense.
No.
I mean, it's just all about popping bottles and popping pussy. And it's like, yeah, okay, I get it, but I don't know. If that's someone's cup of tea, I get it. I do.
You know, it's
It
one of
just
those.
it doesn't have enough substance for me. Like, if I don't have like Zach De La Roca rapping about like problems
Yeah.
in Afghanistan alongside Killer Mike and LP, then I don't really. I'm like,
I'll say this: things like Cardi and Migos, I like them more for like when I want to sit back and not like listen to music, because I like to have my music where I can just kind of jam to it or whatever. But then I do also like kind of Rage Against the Machine stuff where
I
you
don't-
listen to it.
And see, I don't have that much time to listen to music. Like,
Yeah.
I never get tired of like if I do decide to listen to music, that's like small little time.
Yeah.
Because usually my dork ass brain is locked listening to the BBC or some kind
Sure.
of bullshit news or it's fucking Tim Pool. Yeah. And heavily analyzing bullshit. But yeah, no, I just have a problem with the way she talks. That's all. And again, it's a personal issue. It's just like she's trying to make a point about the wall,
Yeah.
that big Instagram video that like blew up
Yeah,
everywhere.
sure.
And I just thought like I'm not against it. That's great. Say what you want, and I agree with you, but bitch, I'm scared. Like, come on, like can we not? Does everything have to be a cuss word? And I know that I just said that you can tell when people are fake because they don't swear. But I just mean in a general sense is you shouldn't have to cuss all the time.
Yeah.
Should be educated.
Fucking bullshit if you cuss in every fucking word.
Right. You should have a fucking vocabulary.
Right.
I don't know. That's my take with her. That's all I ever see as that side of her is that.
Yeah.
But again, I don't hate it more than I. It's all right.
I still hate. She actually performed at the Grammys last night. Cardi.
I heard. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Do you know who didn't perform? The guy that won the most awards and then broke records for winning awards that have never been won before. My man, Troy.
Aikman?
No,
Who?
I don't know his last name.
Troy.
What is his last name? I don't know. He does that show with Abed.
What?
Yeah, Troy and Abed in the morning. Donald Glover.
Oh,
Yeah.
Troy. Where'd you get Troy from?
That was his name in Community.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking Donald Glover. I was about to look it up. I was like, Troy and Abed.
Do you know how many times, and by the way, I've only been caught by one listener, how many times I've been talking to you guys and I'll tell a story about something that happened in Community and you guys never catch on to it?
Really?
Yeah. I do that a lot.
No shit.
Yes. Probably at least once a week.
That's really funny. Now I'm gonna start questioning everything and be like,
That really happened? Well, at least like AOC was never in Community.
right, yeah.
But yeah, he won for best rap album, right? No, best male performer, best
Cardi actually won the
best rap album. Yeah,
yeah, and she's the first female to ever win it.
yeah.
Which, like, at first, if you don't know the,
Wait, can I ask you a question? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. Go ahead, and I'll just.
I was just gonna say, if you don't know, because nobody else would, my girlfriend is obsessed with Cardi, which is who brainwashed me, and so she was the one filling me in on all this shit that I never would have known.
And
And
didn't want to watch it live.
we don't have TV, and she was like, "Well, she's the first female rap artist to win." And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But then I kind of got to thinking about it. I'm like, nah, that actually doesn't surprise me too much.
Really?
No.
See, I feel like, I mean, if you really want to look at it, I think it should have been like someone like Lil' Kim, who, I mean,
Really?
look, you want to talk about a woman who said, hey, it's okay to be sexualized. It's okay to be proud of your body. It's okay to take that into your own hands instead of only what a man wants out of you. I mean, she had a line like, I'm the type of bitch who will pick up a guy, make him eat my pussy, and throw him out the car.
Oh my God.
Like, that's Lil' Kim. And like, I think as time goes on, people are going to be like, Lil' Kim was a fucking genius.
Yeah.
If as they look back, I mean, because rap is still so young. It's 45 years or so. But no, I think it's great that she did. But my question was going to be, what's the difference between album of the year and rap album of the year? Rap,
It's more specific.
because Donald Glover won album of the
Yeah.
year.
He just happened to be rap.
Oh, okay.
It was possible for like Aloe
Like
Black
rock
to come
and-
out of
I gotcha.
retirement. Or, yeah. I mean, it's anybody could have. But you know what actually really irritated me? They left Vinny out of the memoriam.
Vinnie Paul. Really?
They left him out. They forgot about him.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Really?
I'm really not.
Why?
Why am I not surprised?
Yeah.
Because metal's always been treated like that.
I know.
And I mean, I love Vinnie Paul, so don't get me wrong. And I think he was an amazing musician, but has he done anything? Like, was he a part of anything in the last decade?
Because
I mean, if they were gonna
hell
co-
yeah.
But was Hell Yeah really? Have they done anything in the last decade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me look it up real quick, but I'm pretty sure. I thought they just released something not too long ago, actually.
Vinny's corpse on the drums. It's still better than most drummers.
2016, 14. Yeah, because 14 was Sangra por Sangra.
Is that the one that had all the big songs off of it?
No, that was the song, Sangra por Sangra.
Oh.
Blood for Blood.
What was the song?
Blood for
that-
Blood was the album.
What
but
was the big hit, like the album that actually had the hits on it? Because
Blood for Blood.
unfortunately, that's what people look at.
I think. Because that had like Demons in the Dirt, Moth.
Yeah, I don't really think those were big hits, were they?
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, I really like them.
Well,
so
I mean,
they're
were
big
they, on
hits with me.
were they on like the radio, like on regular rotation? Because I remember that one song.
You wouldn't know but that was on their 2007 Hell Yeah album.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Which
No, that was 2007.
decade ago?
Yeah.
And look, I don't. I'm speaking objectively, by the way, because I love Trivium's latest album, but I would say like, well, Grammys aren't going to appreciate that. 'Cause it's all about airplay. It's all about money. But I mean, because if they talked about like every dude who died, they'd probably be talking about all the guys that Will plays on his shows.
No, not that. They didn't talk about them. It was just credits. They didn't talk about. They just forgot to put them in the credits.
Again,
Because I don't blame them.
it'd be, yeah, bassists from Warrant.
Right.
You know, like who cares?
Did you hear that Chris Cornell won Best Metal Performance? I'm torn on that.
Right?
I love Chris Cornell.
For one, wait, didn't he die like 2 years ago?
No, he died last year. I'm pretty sure.
No, he didn't.
I'm pretty sure he died early in January.
I can no, I can almost positively say no. That he
Oh.
died in 2016.
No, he died in 2017. Actually,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2017. I'm going back 2 years that I shouldn't. Yeah, he didn't die in 2018. I know that because I was living in my old house.
Lane Staley died in 2002.
Yeah, that's true. He died a long time ago. He is pretty much a corpse now, or a
Yeah.
skeleton.
But yeah, he won Best Metal Performance, which I love Chris Cornell. I really do. But I don't think he should have gotten
For
Best
what?
Performance and Best Metal Performance.
What did he get best metal performance for?
I don't know because he hasn't done anything in a couple of years.
It was just the audio tape of him hanging himself.
Right? Like 3 years from now.
Body trying to breathe. Somebody remixed it.
No.
It's
but-
been long enough. It's funny to joke about. Shut up.
Right, I know. But I don't classify him as metal. Not even when he was with like Soundgarden.
Really?
No,
Like back in the day, I thought so. Like
I'd say rock.
big.
I wouldn't call them metal.
Look up since you're already on here. Fuck, never mind. I don't even know the name of the song.
By who?
The Soundgarden, Rusty Cage.
Oh yeah, that's
You
a
don't
good
think-
one.
You don't think that that's metal?
Let me listen to it again. Apparently, that's a musical artist too. Wait, hang on.
Rusty Cages?
Yeah, I guess so. He's a Z-list.
Awesome.
I'm gonna look at him real quick, and then I'll look up Soundgardens. But I'm very intrigued. Like,
Like, oh, he's got an interview on Rock Assault Radio.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
oh, he's not a
ma'am?
comedian.
Could you spare a moment of your time? My name is Rusty Cage, and I'm not a bum, and I'm not a beggar. I'm actually a musician. I make songs about depression, insanity, death. Wait, don't go, please, just
That's
hear
I
me.
kind of like this guy.
Spends in the twisted alleyways and run-down shanty towns.
I wanna-
The more he uncovers
Hang
the
on.
insidious truth
I'm gonna find one of his
that
songs.
this community.
I'm very intrigued. By,
Do you think
oh,
he
here we
had-
go. Yeah, here we go. It's called "Write Me a Letter." This is an
Hey,
ad
I just
for
created
Wix.
a Wix website for my business. Let me show you how I did it.
Fuck you, Wix. We're not giving you any promotion.
Seriously. Here we go.
Why are we doing this today?
Oh, I don't hate it so far. I want to see what he sounds like when he sings. Unless this is all there is.
Well, I love.
that I haven't been around. Mama don't think that I could ever forget.
He's not bad. I'll leave him at 0.
I
so.
used to get lots of pussy when I was in college with this music. Yeah, this.
This is a good song.
So you know this song.
Yeah,
You don't consider this metal?
I guess so.
Because when you also have to say that, like, She's My Cherry Pie was considered metal. Is it really actually just audibly? It's really close to like White Zombie back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, that was the era I was referring
God,
to.
I love Chris Cornell.
I know, and by the way, that was like the 80s, wasn't it? 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, I think early 90s.
Like way, way early 90s. But like, yeah, that kind of using your voice as an instrument, that shit was not done then. So you had a story that you liked talking about. You actually asked me about it. What do you think about the, and they're calling her a woman now, by the way, the woman who encouraged her boyfriend's suicide?
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the update on it, but they were trying to delay.
I saw that.
It just said, no, you're going
Yeah.
back to prison.
Yep.
How do you feel about that? Have you changed your opinion on
No, I still say she should go to jail
or prison?
or prison. Yeah.
Look at her, by the way. Like, she just looks like she's evil.
Yeah.
There's certain people.
Yeah.
There's like, yeah, that
She looks like a young Hillary Clinton.
she really does.
Actually, she kind of does.
She looks like she's got a fucking closet full of dead babies.
Yeah. No, I absolutely think she should go to prison. She kind of did a Marilyn Manson thing. She didn't kill him, but kind of coerced him through her words.
What? You mean Charles Manson?
What'd I say?
Marilyn Manson?
Same thing.
Yeah,
He killed people
Marilyn
too.
Manson really.
You know,
he made me
removed
question
he
suicide
removed
a
his
lot.
ribs so he could suck his own dick.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I
I've
heard that back in middle school.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, listening to him enough made me like, God, I want to shoot myself.
Yeah.
It's not depressing. It's just fucking awful music.
So Charles Manson, my apologies. She kind of did the same thing, where she coerced him to kill himself, and I think that's still punishable as a murder. Personally.
Yeah.
So I think she should go to jail because you're not in your right mind when you're in that state, and especially, your significant other, that's who you kind of look to for reassurance. Someone to tell you it's going to be okay. You know, that kind of thing. Hey, I love you sort of thing. And she's over here like, do it. Execute Order 66. Like,
See, and maybe it's because I'm so headstrong and I never put that. I mean, there was a point in my life, I remember, where I was like, my mom was like, you need to stop being so reliant on diapers and stop shitting your pants. And I was like, but Mom, they don't mind it at work. No, I mean, but I was like, well, why? Fuck you. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care what you say. And I was like 2 or 3. I've never been so entangled in anyone that they could ever convince me to off myself. Like,
Yeah, I don't-
one. There's no one I love more than my son. Ultimately, awesome. I mean, just that's it for me, right? But if my son was like, "Hey, Dad, kill yourself. Dad, kill yourself. Kill yourself, Dad." Kill yourself. And I'd be like, look, just keep talking and it's going to happen because your fucking voice is driving me insane. But no, I mean, even him, if I'm super depressed and, you know, let's go to the darkest realm of that possible, you know, fucking 50s, wife left me. I'm just like sitting around a bunch of
Yeah.
beer cans. Actually, it sounds pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, he's looming over me. Dude, just kill yourself, man. You're a fucking waste. You're a horrible dad. It's like, fuck you.
I know, for real.
Like, there's no way. And that's where I'm like, I do think she's guilty of being a complete asshole, but I don't know about...
Not everyone's like that, though. Not everyone is that headstrong.
I feel... I understand that. I do. And that's why I'm torn on it, but...
That's one thing I will definitely advocate for, though, is this mental health aspect of it, is that not everyone is... I keep using headstrong because it's just a good way to put it.
Yeah.
They're not as sound in their sanity, so to speak.
So the question then becomes this. Do we change the law for people?
How's that?
Well, here's a good one. Old woman gets beat up, right, and knocked unconscious. Big strong dude in his like lower 20s gets beat up, knocked unconscious. Should the perpetrator in both situations do the same time, or should it be different?
Yes, same time.
So, if let's say you're a headstrong fellow, let's say your girlfriend was like, "Kill yourself,"
Yeah.
and you're like, "No."
No.
Somebody saw the
No,
text.
go make me a sandwich.
You know, like the government saw the text and like we're prosecuting on your behalf. Should she get the same time as this girl?
No, because I didn't kill myself. Maybe if you really, really, really wanted to argue the case and press charges,
And I'm really not. I'm just
attempt. I don't know, maybe like an attempted assisted suicide.
okay. Yeah, there we go.
Which is kind of a mouthful, but I don't think so because in the end, with your first case, 2 people got the shit beat out of them, knocked unconscious.
That's true.
The second case, it's different because
That is true.
a
There
homeboy
was-
killed himself and I didn't. So I think there should be different. If would I press charges? No, because I'd just be like, whatever, dude, she's just whatever. But this is inadvertently a murder. Her blood ultimately is on her hands. I get some people kind of reach a point of no return where they're kind of a lost cause where they're going to do it anyway. But there's still a chance that she could have talked them out of it.
And if you know this case, which is why I'm not like digging in against it, he was not going to. And then that's where the whole thing completely changes.
Yeah.
I mean, she is a garbage person.
Yeah.
Because she actually just like more. Because he was like, I don't think I'm going to, and she's like, no, do it.
Now, and don't.
And that is
The one thing I will
different.
add though is that it wasn't. No, I don't think I'm going to. Like, oh no, I don't think I'm going to. I'm in a sound place in my mind right now. He wasn't at that. He was still pretty depressed, but he was just like, no, but my family, and she was like, fuck your family.
Yeah, essentially.
I mean, essentially
yeah, we're
is how it went.
paraphrasing a
Yeah.
lot. I mean, this was 2 years ago. Our memories are bad, but
I just gotta make your own damn sandwich message. Oops.
go fuck it with a spicy woman.
I know.
That's what happens. I fucking hate being married to a woman who's all about independence and strength.
That's gross, isn't
You
it?
come home and you're like, "What's for dinner?" I don't know.
Make your own fucking.
Yeah.
What?
Like, well,
I miss the
I'm
50s.
coming home late. Like, why couldn't you? But in the same turn, when I'm home early, I don't cook.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I miss the 50s. They were better times.
they really were.
Um,
We had a ward for every person and a drink in every hand.
Exactly.
It was fantastic. No, I do think ultimately that this chick is she's a garbage person. And
Absolutely.
yeah, she looks manipulative as hell. She looks like she could be president in the next 2 decades.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in agreement with you ultimately. So the other thing, and I love this story. This is fantastic, and I choose this story to close out on because I want people who. And there can't be that many of you. God, I pray there's not that many of you. But if there's a lot of you who disagree, then feel free to contact us over the next day and even going into Wednesday on it. Our Facebook page, again, Revolution Radio, pretty easy to find. So, unvaccinated teens, by the number, by a large marginal number, are fact-checking their own parents.
Yeah.
And it has gotten to the point where some are even suing their parents, which I think I think that's a fair
I do too.
reason to sue.
Absolutely.
I've seen where there's that story about the guy who's suing his parents because he didn't consent to being born.
Yes.
That is fucking stupid.
That's stupid.
This one, I totally agree with.
Now, if he wins that case, I'm not saying I'm not going to try it.
Right? Yeah.
Listen.
Fuck you, Mom. I don't care about your retirement.
Right.
Daddy needs a new car. Girlfriend wants a lot. She wants one herself. Yeah. maybe we could get TV in the house. But Ethan Lindenberger, frustrated by years of arguments about his mother's anti-vaccination stance, staged a quiet defection on Reddit. The Norwalk, Ohio teen needed advice. He said on how to I don't know that word.
What?
Inoculate, sorry, himself against both. And why would he need to do it himself? He's 18. He just go to the doctor. But against infectious diseases and his family's dogma. At 18, he was told he was old enough, so he wanted to get vaccinated, but he didn't know how. Because of their beliefs, I've never been vaccinated for anything. God knows how I'm still alive. And this is just one of many, many, many kids who are coming forth. What this does do is kind of lead light to there's Bill HR 1638, I believe. I might be wrong on the numbers, but just looks up vaccination bill. There's a vaccination bill that's being put forth that mandates that children get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. This will cause a lot of problems. It was just announced today, so we'll see how it picks out. I still think we've got probably 5 to 7% of people who aren't vaccinated. Yeah, and
too many though.
It's still too many. Yes, I agree. So we're probably gonna have a majority of people being like, treating them the same as the flat earthers.
Yeah.
Like, come on, stupid.
Right.
But the thing that a lot of people don't like about this bill is it is a mandate to get vaccinated, which means if you don't do it, then you will be either incarcerated or fined. Mm-hmm. They haven't decided. I think the bill does specify which one, and I think it depends on how long you've went. If you have an infant and you don't get it vaccinated for a year, you can be like, well, I'll just pay a fine. But if you let it go for like 5-6 years, then you might be looking at jail time. That's just from what I understand. I'm sure it's far more detailed. The people are having major, major issues about the fact that the government's trying to control them. This is one of those things where I have to say, like,
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of those things like you're pro-life,
Right.
and then the baby comes out, and you're like,
Fuck it.
"Get the government away from my baby!"
Right.
Like, yeah. No. I mean, I don't know. And then and the thing that was attached to this bill was a bunch of doctors coming forward and saying all of this shit about the autism is just garbage. It's not true. Again, like I argued this about abortion. If you really, really cared about women's health and you cared about babies, then you would actually be a very pro climate change person, and you would be working all you can to fix the environment, because 1 in 6 women, I've heard numbers honestly as high as 1 in 5 women will have a miscarriage, and it all has to do with our environment, pollution, you know,
Well, I mean,
runoff.
It was
the
you that told
garbage
me
in our water,
every single person has
weed killer, essentially. Yeah,
But what is it?
I can't remember the name.
It starts with an R, but
Yeah. I hate you, because now I'm trying to remember. What is the weed killer?
Raid.
No, not Raid.
No.
But it's from Monsanto. It's a Monsanto drug, but it's in every one of us. Everyone from, you know, those of us who are
Roundup.
Roundup. Yeah, we all have Roundup in us. Just like, okay, they out of 50 cereals, 48 of them had a weed killer in them, like a substantial amount. It's everywhere. But if you cared about children, about infants and babies, and you cared about children, you would fight to get this shit out of it. Younger, and there again, you care about women. Younger and younger women, or girls, are becoming, are hitting adolescence at a much younger age. There's some girls, little girls, it's fucking heartbreaking if you ask me, who are going through having, you know, the change at 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's not even enough time to be a kid. It's, for me, that's really, really sad, because I've got a 6-year-old, and I can't imagine in 2 years to be like, he, you know, he's wanting his alone time and watching, like, you know, Skinamax. Like, it's fucking 8. Like, they're a fucking kid. They don't need to talk. You know, don't need to be thinking about that shit. But so, yeah, this bill is really interesting to see how we're going to react to it, how people are going to deal with it. I 100% agree. Yes, it should just be mandated.
Absolutely.
Another interesting aspect about it was something that me and my wife were talking about. We were, you know, I told her I think it would be stupid to introduce this a bill like this, and I said you're going to give a lot of fucking psychos. You're probably going to get 30% of the country to start questioning it.
The bill?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
I do, and here's why.
People are sheeple.
People are sheeple, and Donald Trump went on. I hate to make everything about Donald Trump, but it's relevant here. When he was running for president, he said, "We got to do something about these vaccinations. We saw a 2-month-old baby, 2-year-old baby, just beautiful baby. It was perfect. Then it had its vaccinations, and now it has autism." People loved it, cheered, they went crazy. My fear is you're going to turn that 5 to 7% of people who are anti-vaxxers into 15 to 20%, because they already are insane, and they think the government's after them. They think the government was, so now it's a mandate. They're trying to control us. Look what they're doing to us.
So basically what you're saying is
I think it's gonna have
instead
a
of
negative.
making it a legal thing, just kind of let it slide and hope it doesn't grow.
That's honestly, me personally, I feel like it's going to have a bad backlash.
Good.
And we're going to see more and more children. And maybe here's what we do, I think, to fix the problem. And it's the same way, I think, that we saw with these stories. We start promoting vaccinations on TV, social media, even video games, and definitely in school. And so when all these kids aren't vaccinated, they'll be like, "Hey, am I vaccinated?" And the mom will be like, No, it'll give you autism. Well, fucking 99% of my class is vaccinated, and they're fucking normal. Well, as normal as can be.
Yeah.
They don't have autism. Why would it give me autism and not them? And they're going to start questioning. I think that's the only way to handle that kind of thing. I mean, I don't want to get into a religious conversation again, but that's how I think you open the eyes on religion as well, as you start just let it go. And then people were like, wait, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Something doesn't take. So, and especially when you have 5 to 7% of the country, you still have a 93 to 95% pushing that narrative without even having to, just by being there and saying, yeah, I know, I'm totally vaccinated, I'm fine. And they'll start questioning. And I might be wrong. I really might be wrong. I just fear that could happen, is that you're going to see that really right-wing base who already thinks that the globalists and George Soros and all these people are after us, you know, and that's not really the case in a lot of situations. I mean, not to the point of where they want to take it. And as you were talking about that gunslinger fantasy of bad guys coming, bam, you know, it's just gonna give them another like little step that they can get to that fantasy. But that's my opinion. I might be completely wrong. I hope I am, to be honest.
We'll see.
But yeah, I think it's a really interesting bill, and I don't know. I hope it passed. I hope it passes and there's no problems. But
yeah, me too.
That this doesn't happen anymore, right?
Can you imagine if it doesn't pass?
Well, I mean, it would be up to Congress.
Yeah, but like if enough people were like, "Nah, that's bullshit."
Yeah, I mean,
I'd be like, "Holy shit!"
But don't you see, like, or don't you envision how that could happen? Because if someone was to come up to you and they would be like, hey, if you make this, you got to make a phone call and then do an e-signature, and you'll sign on to get vaccination, a bill that passes. Wouldn't you be like, other people are going to do it? It's fucking vaccination, of course. Like, that's stupid. And you probably wouldn't do it. But if you were anti-vaxxer, you would go to all this work to do it. So I could see that, like, or a small minority could.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, I mean, that happens in a lot of scenarios, too. I mean, because it's something they care about. We don't really care. I mean, just kind of, you know, it's a stupid idea. I mean.
It's like flat Earth. Again.
I love the argument I've heard on flat Earth. It's like, okay, so moon round, sun round, Mars round, Jupiter round, Earth flat.
Yeah.
And they never have a comeback.
I know. Have you heard about, what is it called, like empty earthers or hollow earthers or something?
Maybe not.
They're basically saying that the Earth is hollow and a bunch of dinosaurs and shit lives in there.
I love those people.
I know.
They think there's shit down there.
Oh yeah, there's no core, there's no magma, like it's hollow. It's just, well, not, obviously not completely hollow, otherwise you just have a bunch of like T-Rexes tumbling around, but like dinosaurs and shit live in the earth. Like in the earth.
Like that's where they went?
Yeah.
And then when they die, they go up?
I guess.
That's how we find them?
Maybe.
I mean, look, I don't think that's
I've heard
true,
crazier things.
but I have heard crazier things. Christian religion is one.
I mean, think about it. If
it's kind of true if you think about it.
Think about it. That big old pothole, not pothole, but sinkhole that we talked about, a couple weeks ago, like the huge one? Well, because it was frozen over and due to climate change, it melted, right?
Right.
That went far down. Like, who knows what's down there? I'm just saying, there's a lot of room for air here.
Is this a T-Rex tail? You could barely see it, like, sticking out.
Oh my God! Can you imagine if it was that big and it like got out?
But I mean,
like,
the funny thing is, like, there would only be so much room for their waste to go.
I know.
Like you would start.
That's a good point.
You would start to notice like dinosaur turds coming up out of the ground.
They'd probably die.
They would. They would totally.
What if one of
die.
them could like breathe fire? Somebody lays a shit amongst all this gaseous waste. That's what our earthquakes are. Dinosaurs are just imploding.
The earth just gets like really hot. Like, what the fuck is going on? And the idea, by the way, of a dinosaur breathing fire is just as fucking,
It's as believable.
It really.
At this point, fuck it.
I've heard of worse conspiracies.
Yeah.
The Jewish religion.
Man, you're on a tear today.
Well, I thought, I'm going to nail one. I should nail the other and
Exactly.
end up with Muslim being stupid, too.
Well,
yeah, I
I
think
think that pretty well does it for us today.
it does.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
No. Don't you have live reads somewhere?
Oh, wait. Yeah.
There we go.
Wait. I don't think that's right.
Why?
The second one.
Oh, okay. Well, just skip that one.
All right. Revolution Auto Sales. Great deals on amazing rides. Call Mark at 316-217-3066. Did we ever just determine if his name was actually Mark?
I think it is Mark.
Okay.
Love you, Mark.
Play More Lanes. Cosmic Bowling Challenge every Saturday, 8 to 10 p.m. with weekly cash prizes. Groups of 5 or more that mention 106.6 The Blast will get $1.06 off entry fee. Distant Lands Coffee. Check them out. They have kick-ass coffee. Their dark roast is phenomenal. Performance decals. Get a sick little pinstripe on your little Volkswagen. That's what I'm talking about.
And if you happen to buy porn or porn toys, which, by the way, can totally, spice things up or whatever, Adam and Eve, and use the checkout code REV, R-E-V. Probably won't matter. You probably won't do it. But you should. Because you get a bunch of free shit. And it's free shit you can use for anything. All I'm saying is if you have an extra dildo laying around, you can definitely find use for it. But, yeah, whatever you do, just use the word REV. Find a lot of shit. AdamandEve.com, code word REV. Free shipping as well when you use that code word and the free stuff. So might as well do it and get all the free stuff. Anyway, yeah, we will be back on Wednesday at 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. I don't know. Hopefully Tanya is back in.
We'll see.
We'll see.
If her kids are still alive.
Yeah.
She should have gotten them vaccinated. Those
Yeah,
anti-vax
I think
parents.
that's the problem. She doesn't like to talk about it, but I
Yeah,
bet you she's an
telling you.
anti-vaxxer.
Probably.
Anyway, guys, we love you. Bye-bye. What are you doing?
Pretending this toilet paper roll is my dick and I'm jerking it off.
Is that something you enjoy doing?
It's a life-size replica. Hollow.
Hollow and like really thin.
Yeah.
So anyway, YouTube, thanks for listening.
Are we live for that too?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
We're live right now.
All right.
YouTube, thanks for tuning in, guys. We will continue giving you those behind the scenes, and you can see how it is when we go from political to like a break where it's just like, It doesn't mean that we're not serious. It doesn't mean that we don't have that. It just means that that's not who we are 24/7.
We just like to have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't realize I was live.
And I was actually talking about the Ocasio-Cortez break, but
Yeah, too.
yeah, we just start talking about your tooth bothering you.
Yeah.
We're normal people behind
Yeah.
the scene. Anyway, thanks a lot for listening, especially on YouTube. Keep listening to us. Please give us a subscribe, a like, some of that good shit. Anyway, fuck you, Tim Pool.